What's up guys, with our True Good Development. I'm doing a kitchen remodel here. This kitchen is going to get a facelift. As you can see, it really needs it. I did start with the demo. We're going to do some more demo, but this kitchen is getting everything done. I'm talking about painted cabinets with glass-like finish, adding new hardware, floors, baseboard, granite countertops, backsplash. Even the soffits are going to get dressed up. Now, I'm not a big fan of soffits. I would have taken these things down, but unfortunately, I do have some ductwork running through them, so didn't really want to reroute all that. But stick around and I'll show you what it's going to look like. Alright, well that was a little bit challenging because it was really stuck to the wall. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and take this vinyl backsplash off, clean everything up to prep for the cabinets. I'm going to tape all the insides because we're going to spray paint, and of course I'm going to go ahead and clean and prep the doors as well. So stick around. Alright guys, demo's complete, cleaned up a little bit. I'm going to switch the camera around and I'm going to just sand those cabinets just a little bit, just a little bit of a buff sanding just to clean them up, and then come back, clean all the dust off of them, and then we'll put our plastic on the inside just to seal everything from the spray. So hang tight. I got my rotary sander and I got a 60 grit pad on here. I think it's 60. Nope, 80. Oops. I got 80 grit, and again, we're just scuffing this just to get those black marks off and everything else. Here we go. Alright guys, I got the bottom cabinets all lined up with the masking film, and I just want to show you a couple of tips when you're doing this. This is the tedious part of the job, but it is important. It will pay dividends. So just want to show you a couple of things. This is the guy that I'm using. Got this off of Amazon. So what you want to do is you kind of want to mass produce cut this. You don't want to just cut one for here, tape it up, then come back and cut again. These are all the same size, well, with the exception of the smaller guys. All right, you want to measure, and the cabinet, we'll say that's about it right here. Let's make my mark. Come on down here, make that cut. Now, you want to cut this before you open it up. Once you open it up, you're never going to get a straight cut, right? So the shorter it is, or the thinner it is, the narrower it is, the straighter your cut. And now what you want to do is just line up your next piece. Step on it so it doesn't move, and make your next cut. This will make your job go much faster. Second tip is applying these to the cabinet. Here we go. Open your masking film, toss it in, grab your masking tape. I get the thicker, the wider tape. This is 1.5 inch. fold this guy over like that. And then you go on the inside of the cabinet, line it up right here on the edge and fold it over just like that. Grab your masking tape. Remember, we're gonna need some for up here. So leave about 1 inch or so. Like this is about 1 inch, leave that. And then what you wanna do is just come in and grab on it with the tape. And then it will just attract, I guess, some physics. It will attract right to the tape. And there you go, just like that. I'll go ahead and quickly do this one. Same thing. See, it automatically just grabs to it. I found this to be the fastest way. Hey, if you've used this before, and if you used, I know some people use the brown paper. I don't know, I've never used that because I just found this to be easier. If you have and you got a trick up your sleeve, let me know in the comments. So yeah, this is the tedious part of the job, but look, I would rather do this than spend time trying to then clean or get paint off the inside of the cabinet, which might never come off. So there you go. And I factor in the time for this, right? So when I'm doing a kitchen project, I'm gonna factor in a half a day or even a full day, depending on the size of the kitchen, to clean, demo, prep for paint. So, and here's the spray test. Ready? That's 2 thumbs up. And there you have it. That's your second tip. I'll move on and finish all these guys up, and then we'll get some on these, some primer on these cabinets. Actually, no, I'm gonna do the toe kick first, and then we'll do the primer. All right, I think I'm all ready to go. I got my toe kick in, and everything is covered up. Double checked everything, so ready to roll. I'm gonna have my mask on, so you might not hear me all too well. So just bear with me. Finally, some fun stuff to do around here. Oh, just real quick, I decided with the soffit, what I'm gonna do is just match the paint to it, and then we'll add some crown molding, and then I think I'm gonna do some base molding on these cabinets also. I think that will make it give it a nice look. All right, guys, I got the primer on. You could already see the big difference. Still got to paint the soffit. Try to do that today. Again, this is just the primer. Let me do a close-up. Okay. I took a 220. I took a 220 grit sandpaper and just went through very gently, just like this. Hold on, just like that. Okay, just a little bit, just to give it a really nice smooth finish. Just run your fingers wherever you feel a little roughness, just come back and just go at it real quick. Okay, just like that. And then before you do your finish coat, you can just take a a damp piece of cloth and just kind of run it over real quick. Now, what I'm doing today, the doors. Let me show you a tip on how to do the doors. Now, I learned this from, I forget the name of the YouTuber, Paint for Life, I think. So shout out to these guys. I'll shout them out in the description as well. Gotta give credit where credit is due. Anyways, to make the process go much quicker painting the doors, because you need to do front and back, okay, on the doors. And if you were to do it where they're flat, then you have to wait for the paint to dry overnight, come back the next day. It will make the job basically twice as long. So what they came up with was this really cool tip using these hooks, right? So these are 7/8 cup hooks, okay? I got these from Amazon. And what you do is, let me grab a couple of these out, all right? What you do is you want to drill holes right here on the top of the door, so they're never visible really, right? So make sure you got your handle right here. So this is going to be a top cabinet, all right? That's never going to be seen. So you basically drill a hole just enough so you can go ahead and drive this guy in, all right? There you go. All right, once it starts catching, just go in, okay, and just hold it just like that. Do the second one here, and then hang it on an apparatus of some sorts. Now, they've used hangers. I'm just using a ladder, and I'll show you how I'm doing that. But that way you have exposure to both the front and the back of the door simultaneously. So in one day, you can get your primer on, which dries in a couple of hours, and then you come back and throw at least your first finished coat, and it will make the job go super, super faster. It does take time to set it up, but it is well worth it. So I'll show you my setup, how I'm hanging these guys. All right, guys, here's the setup I got. So I have this 14-foot ladder just going across, and I lucked out in that there's a little bit of a notch in here. So these guys sit, they tuck right in, okay? So I got all this set up like that. And then I got a couple of more right up here. Just had to, you know, find whatever I can find here to get that set up, okay? And we're gonna go ahead and get painted. All right, guys, I got everything set up. Got my pressure set for this bad boy. We're all loaded up. And I'm just gonna spray maybe just the one door, because you guys got the idea. And then I'll, you know, check back when we're done everything. And notice the overspray on, or the lack of overspray on this critter, which I like. I'm almost not even getting any paint on the ladder. And this is where spray painting makes a big difference with cabinetry, is, you know, all this detail. It's very difficult to really get in there with a brush. So this makes it a whole lot easier. All right, I'll do the back a bit. Today I am gearing up for my first finish coat. For that I'm using Valspar's cabinet enamel paint. It's in semi-gloss finish, so it's going to give it that semi-gloss finish, just kind of like you see on trim work. This is an enamel-based paint, or an enamel paint, which means it has more of oil-based paint characteristics. It's still water-based paint, so it's a lot easier to work with. It's easy to clean. And the enamel feature basically makes the paint dries slower. So it gives it more time to adhere to the surface. It gives it more time to be more uniform across the surface or on the surface, which gives you that smoother finish. Even though that's the case, I am going to use my trusty Floetrol. So what I do is I just add a little bit of that to my mixture of paint, mix it all up. And again, what the Floetrol does, it just prolongs the period the paint takes to dry, again, giving it even a more smoother finish. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in my little mason jar here, and I am going to be using my secret tool, my critter tool. So I'm gonna mix that up. And basically I'm gonna go just kind of 3/4 of the way with the paint, and then add about an ounce or so of Floetrol. Honestly, you can read the label to see what you need to mix, but I just kind of dump it in there and then go to town. All right, guys, here are the cabinets with the primer on, and what I did is I came back with just one of these sanding bars, and what I did is I just kind of ran through the surfaces of these cabinets. Honestly, it didn't even apply much pressure at all. And what you want to do here is when you spray the paint on, sometimes you'll have some spits. The sprayer will spit, and you will see, or you will feel, a little roughness and just like a couple of dots here and there. So all this does is just smooths everything out. I didn't do the back. The back doesn't really need it. You're mostly concerned with the front. For these cabinets too, I did not fill in the texture on the wood, the grain on the wood, purposely. Again, I wanted to stay true to the age of the home, and I didn't want to get like really contemporary with the finish. But if you want to do that, yeah, there's other videos to show you how to do it. I think they use some sort of wax. I personally haven't done it, but I wanted to keep the grain visible. All done with these guys. Just wanted to show you the finished product. There we go. I mean, there you go. You can see the little sheen, okay, on it. You could still see the grain a little bit, which is what I want. The finish is spot on. This is the finished product here on these guys. Well, the first coat, and we do a second coat, and I'm moving on now to the kitchen. All right, guys, I got everything set up in the kitchen as far as paint. I ended up doing, I think, about 3 coats of paint on this, which is no big deal. Once you have everything prepped up with the film, I mean, you just spray on. And the nice thing about spraying too, you can come back in an hour and just spray right on top. It's not like there's brush marks or anything like that that's gonna wipe up the paint from the previous coat, right? That's the nice thing about spray paint too. I put the, well, I set up for the hi-hats, the recessed lights. I did that video separately, so if you guys want to check that out, I'll put the link up. But for now, we're ready for the protective coat. So let me show you what I'm doing with that. This is my go-to to protect my paint job on cabinets, wood finishes, things like that. Of course, you want to protect the paint, even though it's 2, 3, however many coats of paint you have there. If you take your fingernail to it and start scratching at it, eventually that paint is going to come off. This stuff actually gives it more of a protective film, so it doesn't damage as easily. This stuff comes in satin finish, and I can't remember what other finish it comes in. I usually go with the clear satin. I'm gonna apply this with my critter as well. Just remember that this is really thin, so instead of going, with paint I go up to almost 60 psi's. With this, I'm probably just gonna stick to 30 or whatever. So same thing, clean everything up, and then load up your mason jar. Same thing with the paint, you want to start top to bottom. Make sure you wear your mask. A lot of fumes here. This is what's nice about using the spray. If you ever try to do this with a brush, A, it will take forever, and B, it's not going to be uniform. Look at that. That's a glass finish, and that's going to have that nice sheen to it. And that's what you want. Can't skip this step. So all right, guys, completed the last coat as you saw, and put in my poly acrylic protective sealant on the cabinet. I put in my hardware. I picked up these antique brass pulls to match the hinges, the exposed hinges on these cabinets. So again, we got our crown right here just to kind of give it a complete look with the light rail molding. And in between, unfortunately, I didn't really like my footage on the backsplash. This backsplash has a lip around it, so I didn't even need to use spacers on these. I love working with these tiles, and they give you a 1/16 line, which is really all you need here. I did make a video on how to notch and how to cut tile with a 4.5-inch grinder. It just makes the job so much easier. So you get like stuff like this cut right here, and this cut right there. Pretty much every cut I did here was with a grinder, except the straight cuts. You know, when you go and cut the tile in half, obviously I just use this straight cutter for that. The granite came in the meantime too, so I'm liking the look. And today we're gonna slap some paint on the walls. And next we're gonna throw the floors down and baseboard. And hey, we're almost done here, so stick around. All right, guys. Kitchen is complete. I got my appliances in. I got the floors, I think I said that last, done. Baseboard, paint, everything is in. The backsplash is looking nice. I got my faucet in. Hooked it up with a garbage disposal with the outlet. Business. And my toe kick is in place. I threw in some quarter round to finish it up. Don't mind my lunch there. My crown with the soffit painted to match to kind of give it a fuller look. Of course, the light rail molding again to give it that fuller look. My hi-hats, it's nice and bright in here. Boom, there it is. And there you have it, guys. Kitchen makeover is complete. I am super happy with the way this came out. It is brighter. I hope you guys like it. If you did, give me a like. Support the channel by subscribing if you haven't. And guys, if you have any questions about what I've used here, how I did it, if it's unsure in the video or unclear in the video, just let me know. I'll be happy to elaborate in the comments. And I'll see you guys on the next one.